Welcome back to the Team to Be Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. We are live post-game. The Miami Heat just defeated the Golden State Warriors 110-96 at Kaseya Center. The Miami Heat are now 9-6, 7-1 at home, and they beat a very short-handed Golden State Warriors team. So this game was not fun at all. No Steph Curry, no Jimmy Butler returning back to Miami for a revenge game, no Draymond Green. So I expected the Miami Heat to win, but this was a brutal game for the Miami Heat. And I'm joined today by my buddy Rory, who is a Golden State Warriors fan. And Rory, thanks for joining. Really appreciate the time. What are your thoughts on this game? I know it was a BS game. Half of your guys were out, but what were your thoughts? Because the Warriors have been in similar situations, same with the Heat, where they've played teams early on this season where all of their stars were out, basically, and starters were out. And we've lost those games. You guys lost to what? Milwaukee, Sacramento, Indiana. We most recently lost to the Cavs, where they sat out three people. They got fined for that, by the way. The Cavs got fined for sitting out Mobley, Mitchell, and Garland. So what were your thoughts overall on the game?
I think that it's kind of like I was saying to you before we went live. It reminds me of the college football games where you have the high ranked team versus the non ranked team, and the first halves are generally pretty competitive, and then it just ends up being kind of what it is, like the better team wins. One thing I think that I observed from this, I mean, you guys did have Adebayo back, and you're only missing Hero, but the Warriors, I just think it just shows like how they really aren't as deep as Steve Kerr's claiming they are. I don't think they're as strong. I mean, they were missing a lot with Kuminga, Draymond, Butler, and Steph and Horford. That's half their team. But those other guys, I just don't. I'm not that impressed. There's a couple guys I think the fans like for the Warriors, like uh, some like Pods and Spencer. I just don't really think they're actually NBA players. I think in any other roster they wouldn't even be in the NBA. So I
Yeah.
think this kind of gets exposed when you play in this situation.
Yeah. I mean, like Spencer, he's not even really in the rotation, right? Like he is actually like a G League type undrafted player.
Hmm.
Pods was drafted right after Jaime. Like he was number 19 overall 2 seasons ago. I thought he had some good stints with the Warriors. Like I thought he had a solid, especially the rookie year. Wasn't he on the All NBA rookie team with Jaime Jaquez? Like what
Yes,
happened? What are some of his flaws?
I think that I don't think he's very good at defense. I don't think he can. I think his head is a little like he's got that confidence and bravado that you like. I think you have to get to the NBA, but then I think you have to also like kind of nestle into a role and like own your role. And I'm not sure that I don't know what he's great at. I feel like Kerr will defend him to his death with the plus minus, but there's nothing else. Like it's like, what is he doing on the court? Is he a great passer? Not really. Is he a great defender? Not at all. Is he a great shooter? Not really. He's a good rebounding guard, and he tries hard. But I think you can get plenty of better play. There's plenty of players and talented people out of college and in the, in the G League. I think that could be better than him. And I just think better players, vets out there that I think Melton's going to take his minutes. To be honest with you.
He's still hurt, huh? I remember because you guys signed him. Was it 2 seasons ago? Then he like tear his ACL. Basically, didn't play more than 10 games for you guys, and then
Yeah.
went off somewhere else. You guys signed him again, and he's still. I haven't seen him. Like, has he been on the court at all this season?
He's been. It just was reported today that he's been practicing in Santa Cruz and with the Warriors, and he's like ramping up. But I heard Kerr say recently that he's like getting his cardio and his legs under him. I think he's recovered from his injury, but I think he needs to get into what they consider NBA ready before you're going to see him on the court. But I do think that that addition is going to start to take away some of the minutes from people like Pods. And like you said, Spencer's not really in the rotation. He just plays a lot more than I wish he would. He's fine, and I love his effort, and he's a great story. Especially someone that played lacrosse. But like, I just don't like seeing that kind of guy on the court because I just don't think it puts us in a position to win.
Totally, and also just not having your star players, like not getting to see Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler and Draymond tonight was unfortunate. And yeah, it's just tough for any team to lose when one of your stars are out, and having all three of your best players. Even though it's crazy that you have what an average age of between the four guys who are out today, including Horford, the average age is what, like 36 years old, 37 years old? Because Horford's
Yeah.
like 39, 40. Steph's 37, Jimmy's 36. How old is Draymond? 35, 36?
35, I think. And Kaminga brings it down considerably, but it's still a lot of old, like a lot of gray in that beard, like on
Yeah.
those guys. So
I got this. You got the
yeah,
talk thing going on. We
exactly. Yeah, and we're not running up and down NBA court.
we run on the SF correct
Yeah,
courts on Saturdays together. We have a lot
that's
of
true.
fun. Rory's the Draymond of our team, he's our heart and
Yeah.
soul for defense. We have a
Well,
pretty
I'm
good
wearing
win
the shirt
percentage.
today.
We
What's
have
that?
a pretty win percentage when we play pickup ball. I'd say like I'm a very good GM, obviously a very good contributor on the team, a step above a role player I would consider, but more of a GM. We put together a really good team. I think our win percentage is like in the 700s. I would say usually if we
Yeah.
play 10 games, we'll probably win 7 out of 10.
Happy with that.
Happy with that because like we're the Olden State Warriors out there on this court because typically we're the older group collectively. I would say there's other old guys that we play with as well, but we're a team that's formed by 3 40-year-olds. So I feel like we are the Olden State Warriors. But anyway, going back to this game real quick, the Miami Heat came off to a great start, obviously, as you would expect. Getting Bam Adebayo back in the starting lineup. Andrew Wiggins is like probably hyped up to play against his friends and his old team and his old coach. Up by 16 early on in that, I think, second quarter. So the Miami Heat were playing very well. They were up 29-20 after the first quarter. The Warriors were hanging in there. They were shooting 18% in that first quarter, Rory, which was just atrocious. We weren't shooting a lot better, but we were up by 16 points, but you guys kept chipping away. And I think we were up by 4 going into halftime. We were just getting crushed on the glass. That's one Achilles heel for the Miami Heat. I don't know about you guys, but you guys out-rebounded us 61-52. 19 offensive rebounds to 14. Since Bam Adebayo missed 6 games, we went from middle of the pack in terms of defensive rebounding to dead last. And Bam's only 6'9". Bam's not a 7'2" center averaging 12 rebounds a game. Like he's someone who averages 9, but people don't understand the importance of boxing out and cleaning up and allowing your teammates to get rebounds as well, right? So I think the rebounding was huge for you guys. Just the energy of the guys that are scrubs that don't get to play, like the Spencers who are in the rotation. Like those guys are playing their hearts out for it's an audition theoretically, even if it's not for this year or for next year. But like these guys are trying to put tape together to show that they are NBA players. So I understand the psychology of these guys who never get a chance to play getting an opportunity and they're playing their hearts out versus a team. They're like, we have 82 games this season. We're the starters. We're going to be in the rotation. So I understand the psychology of it, but it still pisses me off that the Heat took their foot off the gas enough where they didn't continue to dominate because you guys are shooting 18% and we're only up by 9 after the first quarter. That's pathetic. I think we should have been up by 20. Like we were shooting horribly as well. And overall, you shot 36% from the field, which is atrocious. You shot 27% from 3. We shot 41 and 37 respectively. So rough game. We both missed all of our free throws, basically 75 and 73%. So not a fun game, but the Miami Heat figured it out. Like in the third quarter, you guys actually took the lead by 5 points with Quinton Post, I believe, who got very hot in that third quarter. And if we look at the box score real quick, he had 19 points. Yeah, so he was 3 for 7 from 3, 8 for 13 from the field. So he was very dominant for you guys and kept you in that game. And then finally, the Miami Heat woke up in that fourth quarter, outscored you guys 38-22. So can you see me, Rory? Am I frozen still?
A little frozen.
Can you hear me, though?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, just the picture's frozen. Yeah, so that Miami Heat finally woke up in the fourth quarter. Bam Adebayo and Norman Powell pretty much dominated that fourth quarter, which you would expect. We were talking about this offline.
Yep.
Your expectation was the Miami Heat were going to win no matter what because Andrew Wiggins is better than anybody on the court on your side. Norman Powell, maybe even Jaime Hawkins is pretty much better than everybody else this year, at least, right?
Yeah.
Because of who you have off the court. So it wasn't a big surprise, but the Miami Heat end up winning in the fourth quarter, which I'm happy because this would have been one of the most pathetic losses, I think, in a long time if the Miami Heat actually blew this game. You guys are coming off back-to-backs. You have half your team out. You guys have played the most games in the season so far. What are your thoughts on that real quick? You guys played – this was your 17th game. This was the Miami Heat's 14th. So you've played 17 games in like
29 days.
29 days. Yeah, whatever it is. So, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what's going on with that? That's crazy.
I'm not sure. Like I'm wondering. I haven't looked at ahead at the full schedule. I'm hopeful that it works out at the end of the season to where it's way more in their favor, kind of like last season where it was rough at first and then it got a lot easier down the stretch. I think it's ridiculous. I'm not, and I mean, I think this would be ridiculous for any team. And I know there's a lot of people. Well, back in the '80s, we used to take Greyhound buses and wash our, like Eddie Johnson saying, we washed our jerseys in the tub, like suck it up and play. That's before people like really put a lot of investment in their like the understanding of human anatomy and physiology and strength training and all these types of things that they're doing now. They understand now like what's good for the human body and like what it's capable of and how it's going to affect performance and likelihood of injury. It's just absurd. I mean, it's obviously for the money, but I mean, putting these guys like it's just hard to play, especially a team that's so old. Like the Thunder are going to win no matter what. There's other teams like that it's not going to affect as much, but I think you got an older team like this, it's definitely going to affect the outcome. But it's also going to affect the product of the fans in Miami. Like there are a lot of people there that want to see a good basketball game. They want to see a competitive game. They probably want to see Jimmy Butler. They definitely want to see Steph. The league set that up. The league, that was never going to happen. Like if you could have looked at the schedule when they posted it in the summer and been like, Steph and Butler are likely not playing this game, or at least one of them isn't going to play this game. I mean, you guys got really screwed your fan base because nobody played, but that might have been just like the Warriors saying to the league, like, all right, well, if you're going to do this to us, then, because this game was supposed to be nationally televised and it got flexed out. I don't know if you were aware of that.
I was not aware of that. I was
Yeah.
annoyed though because I had to watch. I have League Pass as a Heat fan. I live in San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a Warrior fan, obviously, and Rory knows that. Obviously, we talk about this all the time when we play basketball together. But I didn't get to watch on League Pass the Miami Heat broadcast, so that was kind of. I like actually. I like your announcers. What's the white dude's name again?
Bob Fitzgerald and Kalina Azubuike. Yeah, Bob Fitzgerald's
Azubuike,
great.
I remember him being one of one of your undrafted projects because you guys were really good at that in the early 2000s, the 2010s. I think the three teams that have been the best, and I think the Miami Heat have taken the throne, obviously, for that recently. Spurs, Warriors, and Heat have been amazing at developing those types of undrafted players. So I liked Azubuike back in the day, watching him play. But yeah, you said Fitz. I like Fitz.
He's a Hall of Famer. He does the Olympics. He's been around for 3 or 4 decades. He's great. He's really good. You could put anybody next to him, and he's solid. Azubuike's fine. I like him. He's nice. I
He's
think
not a homer. He's not a homer. So like when you're watching the Warrior games, because you live in San Francisco, right? So you get them all the time, right? Whether they're on the road or not, you get that local broadcast. So for me, I get the local broadcast because of League Pass. So I get to hear Eric Reed and John Crotty for the Miami Heat, which is great. Because I was blacked out though, because I live in San Francisco, I couldn't listen to them. But I listen to other players or other teams broadcast sometimes with League because I have League Pass. I could choose, and there's so many ridiculous freaking homers. Like that's why I like Fitz because he's not bullshitting. Like everybody's biased to a certain degree, but like he's like, oh, that was over the back by Jackson Davis. Like he was like, he looked like if this was half the league, they would have been like, bullshit, that wasn't a real like.
Yeah, they're more like fans than like professionals.
You know what I mean? Like he's a professional. He's not a homer, and I respect his calling. And like he actually had a lot of knowledge about the Miami Heat. Like actually did his homework. Was talking about like Khalil Ware's been in the doghouse with the Heat back and forth. Like he understands like that Khalil Ware.
Yeah, he does his homework.
So shout out to him for sure.
I wanted to mention 2 things. One thing with the Quentin Post, like he can hit threes, but if you notice in the fourth quarter, he just has inexplicable turnovers.
Yeah.
And I want to speak to the Warriors on 2 fronts. The schedule sucked and it's not been their favor, but that shouldn't affect turnovers and fouls. And you were saying defensive rebounding is a big problem for you guys, and that's one of your Achilles heels. The Warriors foul too much and turn it over. What are the Heats like you think that's preventing them? Because another point I was going to speak to when you were talking about our winning percentage when we play, the Warriors and the Heat have kind of seemed to be in this kind of like parallel on the East and the West, like hovering in that. Are they a playoff team? Are they a play-in team? And we've kind of been neck and neck the past several years. What is it that you think's preventing the Heat? Like, what are their Achilles heels, and what prevents them from being a top six team to just like a playing team? You know, kind of like the Warriors. I think it's fouling, not taking care of the ball, are the two big things, and just not very athletic and big.
Yeah, height is one of them.
Mhm.
The Heat are sixth right now, 9-6, which is pretty damn good, I would say. For one, Tyler Hero hasn't played yet. Two, Norman Powell missed 3 games of the 15. Bam has missed 6 of the 15. So those are
Mhm.
our three best players, right? And one of them hasn't even played at all. So for us to be sixth, pretty solid. But the games that we've lost, one was again a trap game against the Cavs with no Garland, no Mitchell, no Mobley. That's pathetic. Like they played them a home and a home, so it wasn't a
Mhm.
back to back, but it was like a Friday Monday kind of thing.
Mhm.
Uh, and they won the game obviously when all of them were playing, and then they
Mhm.
lose the game where they're not playing. Right, so it's hard to beat any team back to back. But like when a team sits out all three of their stars, there's no excuse. I don't care if you played them back to back. It's not the playoffs. They don't make like crazy adjustments like that in the regular season, but not having the size equates to the rebounding piece.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the great Pat Riley, the Godfather, the GOAT says, no rebounds, no rings.
That's
So
right.
the games that we've lost, we've won some games where we lost the rebounding battle, but that's very rare. Like think about that across the NBA. Like I guarantee like 70% of the time the team that won the rebounding battle wins that game, right? There's other
Mhm.
variables and factors. Maybe it's 65%. I don't know. What do you think? But like you win the rebounds, you win the game, right? For the most part, right? Like if you dominate the glass.
Well, you got to have the ball. You got to have the ball to score. You got to have and you got to keep the other team from having the ball, especially that close to the basket. So, like you said, it's like it's pretty much it. No rebounds, no rings. Like there's not really any other way to put it. Like if you don't have the ball, especially that close to the hoop, and the other team's getting it, they're probably going to get the win.
And if they're getting offensive rebounds, which we've been allowing like the
Hmm.
most offensive rebounds this whole season, other teams are getting more opportunities. They're getting more possessions, more shots than us. Like I feel like the average game we're shooting anywhere from 5 to 15 less shots than these teams because
That's
we're not
hard
winning the rebounding battle and they're winning the offensive rebounding battle. There's some games too where they're out hustling us, which is like crazy because you would
for a
think
Heat
like
team. Yeah.
you think our teams, both our teams, that
Right.
like like the way they're coached by Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra, right? They're both similar coaches. They both like small ball. They both were coaches together. Team USA, Kerr passed the throne down to or the torch to Spo. You saw them talking for a long time. Typically,
Yeah.
coaches shake their hands or wave, and they embraced and talked for like 5 minutes afterwards. So, I'm sure they probably had dinner before. But yeah, they have cultures, both of our organizations, and there's some games where they're not like diving for the loose ball or making the effort plays that typically
Mhm.
allow you to gain different or to get more possession. So rebounding is one big thing, like because we lack the size. And Spo doesn't like playing size. Like one, we don't have it on the roster, but two, even if we've had it in the past, Spo doesn't use it as much. Like same with Kerr.
Mhm.
Turning the ball over as well too. I mean, some games we're fine. We're not egregious. I think we're like middle of the pack, but we can't be in the middle of the pack if we want to avoid the play-in right now. Like if we actually want to be a top 4 home court team, we need to be 7th, 8th team with the least turnovers, right? Like right now we're like 15th, 16th, which is fine, but turnovers, not taking care of the ball because we don't have a floor general. We don't have a real point guard. We have Davion Mitchell. Like he's a defensive minded point of
Mhm.
attack type of point guard. He's improved. He's
Mhm.
doing a lot better, but we don't have a true point guard on our team, like a real floor general. So I think that is one of the reasons why we have turnovers. But
Mhm.
turnovers and rebounding, I think, are two of the areas
I have
that
two
are.
questions based off of that. Okay, so one, how has Andrew Wiggins been rebounding? Because when he was a Warrior, he had to be told like go rebound, and he did it really well in the playoffs and coming into that season that he was an All Star. But like, he's not like an instinctive rebounder. He doesn't just crash the boards, so he's not consistent with it. How has he been rebounding for you guys?
Better than he's statistically a little bit better than he's been the last few seasons. He's averaging 5 rebounds per game. So
That's pretty good. I take that from Wiggs.
nothing to write home about, but like, he's 6'7" and he's strong and still athletic even at age
Yeah.
30, 31. So um he's fine. I mean, like I think he's gonna rebound better now that Bam's here because again, I think Bam is one of the best at boxing his
Yeah.
opponent out, and that means other players can actually
Nice.
clean
Yeah.
clean up. So he's hit or miss. There's games where you'll see Andrew get like double digits in rebounds, and then he'll get like 2. And then there'll be a game where he gets like 6, and then he'll get 3. Like he's just it's like an inconsistent 5, which is kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
frustrating. That's just his whole attitude, I feel like. Besides, but he's actually playing a lot better this season. I think last season with the Heat, he was just trying to fit in. It was a midseason trade. So
Yeah.
like now he's like had a whole off season and a preseason and a training camp, and he got a house there now and he's settled. Like so, like he's actually and he's kind of in a contract year because it's a player option. So
Yeah.
if he decides to opt out, then he could become a free agent. I don't
Mhm.
think he's going to opt out unless we trade him. It depends where he goes because he's owed, I think, like 27, 28 million next year. Like, no one's going to pay him that much more or more. No one's going to give him like
Yeah.
35 starting next year at age 30, right? So I think he's going to opt in and stay with the Heat, perhaps, especially if we could actually get to the second round because this is a fun team. The Miami Heat went from third to last, bottom 3 in scoring, 110 points per game, to number 3 in scoring at 124. Isn't that insane? They're scoring 14 more points.
I think you guys I think the East is pretty wide open. Like I really do. I think there's like who's the top? The Knicks, you think? And then
Knicks, Cavs, Detroit. No, Detroit's a shot.
Knicks,
They won
Cavs, and
4 in a
Detroit.
row.
So then there's five, three other spots available in the playoffs. I like Spoelstra. Like my son asked me who's the coach in the NBA. Is it Kerr? And I said him or Spoelstra. And then he was like, well, who's after that? And I was like, I don't know. Like honestly, Thibodeau maybe, but like I don't know who you put in that category. I think it's literally Kerr and Spoelstra, and then maybe some up and comings. But I think you guys do have a good opportunity to hit the playoffs. And you were saying like turnovers and rebounds, which makes me ask, like, with what's going on in Dallas, if you could choose Kyrie Irving or Anthony Davis, which one would you try to get on your team?
Kyrie all day.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah,
Well,
these
they're
guys are
both.
pretty, huh?
I mean, well, one fit like we just like. I mean, both. We need both.
Yeah,
Like I think we need both. We need size and we need a rebounder. Anthony Davis would be so insanely elite next to Bam Adebayo. That
I
would be
agree
the
with
best
that.
defensive duo in the
Oh,
history
yeah.
of sports. Like, there's no other team that
I don't think Giannis could even score on that front line. I don't think he has a chance. I think he's just going to be running into body and like he's not going to be able to get those easy by the cup finishes. I think that would be an impenetrable front
dude.
line.
And then you have Wiggins,
Yeah, on the wing.
and then you have. I mean, yeah. No, I mean, if he was on,
Davion Mitchell is a dog.
and
Like
yeah, wait. So
he's
I
a
guess if
dog.
for AD theoretically, Heat fans would get mad because they wouldn't want to trade um, Tyler Hero for him because Tyler Hero's 25, just became an All Star. He's younger. I know
Yeah,
I would.
I would. Yeah,
Ah, I mean,
it's tough.
I would, but I wouldn't also then give up like
No
picks
draft pick.
and
Yeah,
Jaime and like all that shit because 80 is 33,
yeah, and he's
injury prone,
brittle.
made out of
Brittle.
glass,
Hmm.
like has already won his championship. So at least he has one under his belt. So it's not like he's like seeking that championship, which I think would make it a little different. When he's healthy, though, he's not washed. He's still averaging 22, 10 points. You know what I mean? Like a couple assists a block.
He
But
can be unstoppable. He
he's
can be
made out of glass,
unstoppable.
though. But I mean, you would have to give up Hero for sure. So you're right. It'd be Davion, who's one of the best point of attack defenders in basketball, and then you would have Wiggins
Yeah,
and Bam and him, and then you would have Norman Powell though, like who's not like a negative defender. Like
you're right.
that's a
I was
unstoppable team.
when you were talking about Wiggins, it was making me think about something. It makes me think about Kyrie and AD as well. So I think Wiggins, just kind of having him on our team for a while, you kind of understand who he is. He's an emotional guy. Like he's very aloof and like even keel on the court, but I think he's very family oriented and very much like personal. I
Yep.
think he was in his feelings last year. All the things you said affected his play transitioning. But then I think as he like you said, gets a house and settles, he's like, damn, I'm living in Miami. It's pretty nice in Miami.
Not
This
a
is
bad
actually
place to
pretty
live.
good. I'll be all right if I just stick around here a little longer. I could see players like Kyrie and AD being the same way. It's kind of like, damn, Bam Adebayo, Spolstra, all the other pieces you mentioned, and I get to live in Miami, like on the beach. Like, could be worse. Like, I would way rather live in Miami than Dallas, and I think that most people think that way as well. And you have no income tax, right, in either place, so
Yep.
getting paid more.
Yep. Let me look at Kyrie's contract real quick before I answer this question because that's also part of it.
Yeah, I know the
So,
money's always what messes up the fantasy.
so AD signed a 3-year 175. So he's making
That's
50,
wow.
50 this year, 52, then 50, like 8. So part of the
That's
reason why I answered it is because he's always injured. The
yeah,
other piece is his contract. I guarantee Kyrie's making way less.
yeah.
Um, I know Kyrie signed the deal with the
80 makes like
Mavericks.
a million a game because he plays like 50 games, right? So he's like making a million a game.
Yeah, so based on contract alone, I think to answer the question again, Kyrie, because right now he's making 36 this season, he's not playing, 39 next year, and then 42. So
That's not terrible.
AD is going to be making 58 in his final year at age 36, 37.
He's
Kyrie's
not
only,
even. Who is
it's not
it?
worth
That's
it.
like that's that's a terrible contract. Like as good as he is, and he can be dominant, like you said, he's made of glass. Like he 36, he's probably not even gonna be. He's gonna be like Shaq. Like he's like down on the end of the bench, and he comes in and dunks it once for the crowd, and like he goes and sits back on the bench because his toes hurt or something. Like
100%.
not gonna be fun to watch. That's crazy. Yeah,
So
that's.
Kyrie, I would take Kyrie though because he would unlock Bam Adebayo.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Like having a scoring guard like that. We
yeah,
haven't had anybody on this team like that since Goran Dragic. And like, sorry, Goran, I love you, but you're not on the same level as Kyrie. And like
right.
also the playmaking that he also has. So Kyrie is like one of those unicorn prototypical new types of point guard. Not new, but like the types of point guards that have been dominating lately. Like there's no more CP3s, there's no more really Rondos, there's no more real like floor
Yeah,
general type
I'm a
shooters.
point guard. I'm here to
Point guards
get
who
you the
can't shoot,
ball. Yeah.
basically, right? These guys are usually score first, but he's also an elite passer. So I would take Kyrie. But real quick, let me ask you some questions now. So, do you think the Warriors actually have another real playoff run left in them? Steve Kerr, you know, his contract's up soon. Steph is 37, Draymond's 35, 36, Jimmy's 36. So, what's your actual realistic thoughts of the Miami Heat, the Golden State Warriors making at least another final run in the next 2 seasons?
As a fan, like you want to just like never hold out hope, especially after 2022. It's kind of hard to be like, no, like never. But like, I think like I'm becoming more like sort of accepting the reality and the impermanence of it all. Like, it's been an amazing, majestical run the past like over decade or more because before the Warriors were just trash. It was fun to go to the games. The tickets were cheap. We believe is like the Super Bowl for the Warriors, and then you get this like out of nowhere just like amazing ride, and it's just surreal. But and then so you think you have a chance every year, and then now it's kind of like I look at what we have, and like I think we could make a push if we can get to the playoffs, but it's like the West is brutal. We could get hurt and probably will get hurt. We just lack size and athleticism, and like Steve Kerr just like I don't know, like he doesn't like he's I just think he's in love with pods, and I feel like that just seems to me like a big problem because he's playing too many minutes, and you need to have better players playing 30 minutes a game if you're gonna like be able to make a difference. Like you see in the playoffs, Steph goes out, like we're not a playoff team. Like, and I don't know what you would say about the Heat. Like, if Adebayo goes out, or the Heat a playoff team, and I think that's the problem. If you want to make a serious run at in contention at a finals, you need two guys. Like, if one goes down, then maybe one can carry you for a game or two or something. Like the Warriors were terrible, even with Butler. It was like whatever. Like you can average 20, but that's just not enough. So I guess to kind of roundabout answer, I think there's a chance, but like, who's beating the Thunder? Like they got to beat themselves, or there has to be a catastrophic injury for me. Maybe the Lakers somehow, or the Nuggets possibly, but I just don't know how you're getting past the Thunder. I would love to think so, and like if we made some other move potentially, but all the stars would have to align, kind of like they did in 2022, where like
Yeah.
the better teams somehow get like blown ACLs or something. So I would love to think that and hope that. But I'm not holding my breath. I mean, I just want to see good competitive ball the last few years, I guess. I'd be happy with that. And win a couple rounds in the playoffs would be super exciting.
Yeah, I hear you. And can anyone truly beat the Thunder? That was a question I wanted to ask my friends, like their second best player hasn't even played yet and they're 14 and 1.
Yeah, they're
Like
rolling.
it's just unreal. Like this is like reminds me of the Cavs. Was it
And they
last?
have like 9 top, like I think top draft picks still in their like trunk. Like they're just stacked for like ever.
They
I
can keep
mean,
replenishing. They can keep like they can get rid of guys, consolidate like the guys who like are going to need extensions. Right? There's always going to be some players that they're going
that's
to.
going to be the James Harden, Westbrook, KD
They're there.
conundrum where it comes to contracts where it's like, all right, how are we all going to make 50 to 60 million a year? It's like, well, you're not. And
Well,
so
they're already there
that's,
because they already
yeah,
gave Chet his extension. They have Jalen. I mean, and SGA. All three have it now. But here's the difference between that, though. They can actually now package a Jalen. But I'm just going to say, for the sake of argument, you keep a Chet because he's tall and he's a twig, but still, he's a very good defender. And you got your Shea. You got your Shea. Like it's harder to find a Chet theoretically, right?
mhm,
It's harder to
mhm,
find that big. Jalen Williams is replaceable. Like I say this about the Heat, relating it real quick to the Heat. People like say that Bam and Tyler are so polarizing. There's a lot of Bam haters that are Miami Heat fans. There's a
mhm.
lot of Tyler haters that are Heat fans. I love them all. I love all my teams. Like I'll criticize and talk shit to anybody. Like obviously, like there's no one I really hate. But with Jalen, like, but you oh sorry, going back to my point, you can't replace Bam Adebayo. You can find another Tyler Hero. We got a Norman Powell who's 32 years old coming in, scoring 26 points per game. Like Tyler's best season last year as an all-star at age 24, his breakout season, he was scoring 23 points per game, almost
Yeah,
24. But like Norman Powell's older, coming into a new system, he's already scoring 26 points per game. We traded him for nothing, right?
yeah.
He's and not to say Jalen Williams is nothing, like, and but he's more replaceable, like a two guard kind of
You
like
can
guy like
score.
that
Yeah,
is more replaceable than I think a Chet. So you take a Jalen Williams contract where it's probably making what in the 40s, but then you have 9 picks to your point. So they could
yeah,
also then keep Shea, keep Chet, and then trade him because they need to get that 40 million off the books, attach it to 2 first round picks, and then get like 2 other very good, maybe not all-star level players, but get like 2
yeah,
very good players, and then you replenish right there and you add 2 great complementary players next to Chet and next to SGA, and you keep competing, right? Like you get maybe an
yeah.
aging superstar or an aging star that is cheaper, like the Hardens now who are making 32, 34 million, right?
Mm.
Like maybe you can get someone like a Zach Levine. Like you could
Oh
get rid of
yeah.
him
The
and
Kings. Look at the Kings, man. That could be. There's plenty of
that's what I
choices
mean. You
there.
can give them like they can get Sabonis somehow like on
Oh
like
yeah.
these guys might get these contracts that are bad contracts and guys that are older could get bought out and then they can go to the Thunder because why would they not want to go play with them? So
Right. It's just living in Oklahoma City, I would imagine.
my friend lives there. Shout out to my boy Cy, who's got season tickets. So he lives there.
Probably has a McMansion and season tickets and a sweet couple cars, I bet.
He's a doctor, so yeah, he
Well,
does.
there you go. Yeah, yeah. He's living it up. Smart.
All right, before we close out, what are your thoughts on Jimmy Butler? So you've had him now for what, half of last year and then 15, 16 games this year. So what are your thoughts on just Jimmy Butler in general? Does he move the needle for you guys if you're healthy in the playoffs this upcoming season?
Yeah, I really like Jimmy Butler. Like, I like him as a like I'm aware of his story, his upbringing, and his childhood, and like anybody that can pull themselves kind of like out of that environment and world and just create a dream life for themselves. Like, you can't help but root for someone like that. And then just what I've seen and the way he seems like he's a really good teammate. He's a really good leader. He's just really fun to watch because he's not fun to watch. Like he plays off 2 feet. He doesn't make mistakes. He draws fouls. Like it's like he plays like old man hoops, which like for us, like man, if I could just play like Jimmy, like I'd be unstoppable. But everybody plays off 1 foot, gets out of control, throws one-handed passes. I think he's great. I think he's fantastic. I wish we would have had him when you guys had him and he was taking you to the finals. But I think that we need to tweak our roster. Like we need to do something. I think hopefully Melton and Curry, Seth Curry come in and helps make a difference and pushes some of these guys that I'm not fond of further down the bench. And maybe that makes a big difference. But I think when you get into if we can get into the playoffs, not the plan. I think if we get into the play and forget about it, like we're gonna have to deal with that, maybe and get that terrible 7-2 or 8-1 matchup, die trying to get out of that first round, and then it's just fumes after that. So if we can get in the top 6, I do like our chances against certain matchups because Steph and Butler are probably two of the better players on the court versus a lot of the teams that we would be up against. Not necessarily, maybe the Lakers. Um, maybe, I mean, arguably they could have the best two. The Thunder have the best player, but maybe not the best two players. The Nuggets arguably could contend, but I think, yeah, I do like Butler a lot as a person, as a teammate. It seems to me like to dig into his psychology. I feel like when he feels unwanted, that's really hard for him to deal with because I think as a child, that unwantedness probably stuck with him. So these teams that like don't want to pay him and don't want him, I think that cuts him a little more personally than it does the average player. But I love the guy. I root for the guy. I think he will help us, but we got to be top 6. Otherwise, we're cooked, just like the past few years.
Yeah, it's a tougher path when you're not a top 6 team in the playoffs. The way the play-in tournament is ran, like other teams get rest, which is necessary. And it's just a harder path, like just playing extra games, obviously, and then not having home court advantage basically ever in the playoffs also
Yeah,
is a
that's
tough
brutal.
pill to swallow as well. So we've been in the same boat. The Miami Heat have been in the same boat when we had Jimmy Butler. Just every path that we had going to the finals were very difficult. We couldn't get over the hump.
Impossible. Impossible.
Yeah,
Like it's
especially
unbelievable that you guys got to the finals. Like, how is this team making the finals? It's impressive. It speaks to the coaching and it speaks to like what
Jimmy.
Jimmy was able to do. I will say to speak to Jimmy, like I don't know if you guys had a better team than I thought, but like he's not the guy you see night in and night out, excuse me, is not the same guy we saw take those guys to the finals. Like he doesn't play like that all the time. It
Mm.
seemed like he just flipped some switch in those runs and played like that because he's very like I think he's unselfish to a fault a lot of the time in the regular season, at least from what I've seen.
Yep,
Um,
good
but
playmaker,
but
underrated
damn,
playmaker.
But damn, those 2 runs were like those were 2 of my favorite runs of all time. I was definitely a Heat fan during those runs. Absolutely was rooting for you guys because
We talked about it. I know on the
it was
court.
amazing. My son was making Heat signs and stuff, and he's a diehard Warriors Curry fan, and he was literally making Heat signs and wearing black and red all the time. Like
You
they
told me
were
this. I remember.
unreal,
Yeah,
unreal. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a fan, and I think you guys have a better chance of cracking the top 6 than we do, even with Jimmy.
I think
Just
so too
because
because
of
you're
the
in the
East
West.
West. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the West. Giannis is hurt right now.
Yeah.
It's not season ending or anything like that, but he's always banged up.
He's
And
gonna get hurt. They don't have any he doesn't have any help. Like that's just
oh, they're done. He lost Dame. He lost Middleton. Like he has Kyle Kuzma and Miles Turner. Like they're screwed.
Does it ever cross your guys like rumor waves that that Giannis might go to the Heat? Does that ever come up? I know the Warriors, it's always on
Yeah,
the
always
rumor
comes
watch.
up. It always
Okay.
comes up. It's like we're gonna have to trade Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero for him. Like
Yes,
you don't even understand. Like people don't. They're like, you would trade Tyler and Bam. I'm like, I would do it in a heartbeat. Giannis is averaging 30 points per game, like 10 rebounds, like 7 assists, like each 30. Like he's still got 3 to 4 more years of this, I would assume. Like one of the most dominant players in the NBA, MVP caliber players, MVP, like finals MVP and NBA champion. Like, of course I would. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Over
so
AD for
more
sure.
dominant than Bam.
Yeah,
What's
and
that?
he's over AD especially like cuz I feel like his durability is not that he's not durable. It's that he's just doing so much. Whereas AD is like, I got a finger in my eyeball, I twisted my ankle, like Cap, like he just constantly when he was on the Pelicans, that poor franchise, my goodness, he just didn't even play for them. He just didn't even
Right.
play for them. That was just awful. And he goes to LA and he's fine. He goes to Dallas and it's like he's hurt again all the time. It's like,
He missed time in LA with the Lakers too. So I mean, he always misses like 20 to 30 games. So
yeah, that's crazy.
all right, let's get through some comments real quick. My boy Van Lee is in the house. He says Rory looks like Scott Van Pelt. I don't know if you think that's a compliment or not, Rory.
I'll get some of those weird glasses. Yeah.
Van Lee also says the Heat were out rebounded by the G League Warriors again. I told you, Amir, flip wigs for AD. Let AD mentor Khalil Ware.
Oh wow.
Promote Pella to small forward and let AD and Bam set screens for Tyler and Norm. He's saying Tyler and Norm. So who are we trading then, Vanley, in order to get Anthony Davis? Is it Jaime
It's so
Hawkins?
expensive. Is that because
Yeah.
he's so expensive?
He's making 50 million a year. They're like, and he's still, again, when healthy, he's still going to give you 23 points a game, 10 rebounds. Like Anthony Davis is not washed. He's just always hurt. You know what I mean? Like he still looked good with the Dallas Mavericks. Like when he was playing last year after the trade, he just someone
These monster contracts hurt the team. Like they do. Like you just it prevents flexibility and like I feel like if they had more of a Tom Brady mentality, like I'll take a little less to get a better team with me. Like a lot of people are gonna want AD, but it's like he's almost gonna have to be freaking waived to be picked up. I mean, who's gonna put any eggs in that basket? Like
it's
you gotta
tough.
be
Yeah. I don't see him getting traded this season. That's going to be rough. It's too much to move.
yeah.
All right. Seeing that Rozier's 25 million on our cap sheet is painful. That could be the reason we don't win the East. Yeah, so the whole gambling allegations,
Can't
Rory.
trade him.
No, we can't.
Oh my
He's an
God.
expiring contract. His contract is technically void right now. So we're not knocking it off the book so we can sign free agents. What free agents are there left, right? There's no free agents that
Ben
they're all,
Simmons, James Wiseman, Mac
but I'm saying
McClung.
that's 25 million in cap space. We like the guys that are available, we would give them 1 million, whatever the veteran minimum
Yeah.
is, right? So it's
Yeah.
still wasted money, but we can't use his money and aggregate that for like a superstar. Let's
How
say
is there no loophole or some way to bring this to silver and say this is unique? What do we do about this? Like
I don't know, but isn't that bullshit even to a Warrior fan? Like what's if
that's
like yeah, like what's if a
that's not
superstar
fair.
is available? What's if all of a sudden like I can't even think of like someone, but like that someone that like makes 50 million because like we could put together
Yeah.
Heroes 30 million plus his
And
25,
Rozier.
that's 55, and give us like a superstar, which that wouldn't happen. But I'm just saying, like in a situation like that, we couldn't get that player because his
I mean, that'd be
contract.
good for the Mavericks because they don't have to worry about Rozier after that. And then they get Hero. Like that actually, if that could work, that would be beautiful. But that's brutal that you guys have no flexibility in that sense. That's awful. That's just like that's not fair. That's really not fair. That's terrible.
All right, Van Lee is my main commenter tonight because Van Lee's my boy. So tell Rory Warriors are too small and it's wearing on Jimmy and Draymond. They should take a punt on Sabonis. Would
Oh
fit
God,
the
yeah.
offense perfectly, but he is targeted in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that, real quick?
I mean, if we could get Sabonis with Draymond and Horford there to cover him up on defense, absolutely. He's kind of like I always wanted Miles Turner, like a stretch big that can make some plays. I would love if we could figure out a way to get Sabonis. I agree. We are too small. We're too unathletic. So you could add size and athleticism. I'm all for it. I don't know how you do it. Like maybe move off of Kaminga, which at this point I'm fine with. I would love to get bigger and more skilled at that position because we feed off our bigs and their ability to make plays. And he's a smart, capable guy that could do that. I would definitely take him.
For
Yeah,
sure.
if it
This
was
question, I
possible.
think this is outlandish that Van Lee just said this because ask Rory if he would trade Draymond for Giannis. The
Yeah,
Bucks may be 5 games under 500 when Giannis is back. That's an
I
unbelievable.
would. I would definitely all day, every day. Yeah, I love Draymond, but come on, man. Like, yeah, is that like
Would you
is that
trade Jimmy and Draymond for him? Because that's what I would ask for from. I mean, why would the Bucks do that? Because why would they ask?
probably? I don't think Jimmy's going to go there for like more than a minute, but like I would say, yeah. I mean, I would trade. Yeah, they probably want Kaminga and Draymond. I don't even know if they'd want
I don't even
Draymond.
know. Stop it. Draymond's 36.
Yeah, they don't want Draymond, but yeah, God, I would give like a finger maybe for Giannis, like to be honest, like so I could enjoy watching basketball for the next 4 or 5 years. I mean, because it's a dark road ahead for us. Like I think the Heat are in a better position to keep kind of getting decent and be competitive in the playoffs. I think the Warriors are headed for a cliff. Like as much as Joe Lacob likes to think we're light years ahead, it's like you had Steph, Clay, Draymond, KD, and all these vets that wanted to play with you. You're not light years ahead of anything. You got lucky, and you rode that shit from a $500 million investment to a $6 billion, you know, team worth. Now it's like I think we're headed down a cliff. Especially the tickets here are so expensive, and it's just like
They are.
when we're average, we're literally we're below average. We're not even like in the middle of like we're like top 10 out of like how many teams are in the list 15. It's like that's not I mean, come on. Like you want to take your kids to a game. it's going to cost you $800 for
Wow.
crappy seats. Yeah, I think we're headed for a cliff. I think you guys definitely have a brighter future. Even if it's not the brightest, it's definitely going to be at least like enjoyable into a playoff round or two.
We'll see. Anyway, Rory, thanks for hopping on tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. Thank God the Miami Heat were able to hold on and win because, again, if
Dude, I saw the 10-point spread. I saw Draymond was out, Butler was out. I was like, it's going to be 10 or more. It's going to be 10 or more. Easy. Like,
we still were shitting the bed in this game, like the shooting percentages that you guys had and the turnovers that you guys had and the fact that we were up by 40, it was an unreal. Like this, like we were playing, we were trying to lose basically. Like it was just a rough game. Like you're shooting 18%, Rory, in the first quarter, shooting 30% as a team in the first half and down by 4. Without all those players, that is egregious for the mind. Imagine the Warriors up by
well,
4.5 with no
that's why.
no Bam, no Norm, no like Jaime.
But
Like, imagine if those guys were out and we were in that
But
game.
look at this. Two things on this front before we wrap up. The Warriors, like Curry has to score 45 for us to beat good teams. Like we're not beating good teams unless he's going maniacal. Second point is it's so hard and Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, he was one of the best coaches at making sure his teams didn't play down to his opponents. If they were playing High Point, it's like we're not beating High Point 72-63. We're going to beat them 112-40. Like most coaches and most teams, and I think even especially in the NBA, where their egos are so much harder or higher, it's so hard to get them to take Quentin Post and Pajemski seriously. Like you're just at a point you're like, come on, man. Like this is like going to the Y and playing the guys that are next on the list. Like I can imagine you're just like you're not juiced up, especially game 17 out of 82, like you were saying. It's like I get it. Like I hate it, like you said, but I get it. It's just like you're a human being and you're just like Quentin Post and Pajemski and like who the hell are these guys? Like it's like the Cleveland Indians in Major League. It's like who the F are these guys? Like I don't even know who they are. Like so
It happens. But anyway, thanks so much for hopping on, Rory. And
absolutely.
I was gonna say we could do a post game the next time they play, but the next time they play is here, so I will be at that game. I haven't bought tickets yet, but there will
Dude,
be no post game because I'll be getting
let
home
me
way
know if you
before.
get tickets to that because I need to go to a game and like that'll be good. Hopefully the players will play. You guys probably will sit out of Bio Hero and Norman Powell to spite us. So
Let's go, yeah. But we'll go to that game. We'll do a live
yeah.
post game at Chase Center outside the
Drive
arena.
City or out on the Barcadero or something.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be dope.
All right. Thanks again, man. Appreciate the
Have a
time.
good night. Go Heat.
All right.